What's up, guys? So today we are back again with another video. This video is going to be reviewing the song The Vengeful One by Disturbed. This one comes off of an interesting album which has a lot to do with criticizing the media, I believe. So with that being said, let's jump into this song and see what it's about. He watches from the ageless void and lightened shadow of his former self, waiting for the time he will gain a human form again. Into the victims of the war machine and vanquish the evil that gave it life. He is the hand of God, the Vengeful One.
Very interesting work now.
Must be televised. So sleep soundly in your beds tonight. Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moments of a dying world, what have you when you die? You'll know why. For you cannot be saved when all the world is slave. When you die, you'll know why. You'll die and know why. For you cannot be saved. This world is still depraved. When you die, you'll know why. I'm the hand of a God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moments of a dying world, what have you become? I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful
That'd be crazy, actually. I'm stopping it a little premature.
Yeah.
But the timing that it started skipping out was interesting.
Why?
Just because he's trying to get rid of the media.
Yeah.
Very interesting video.
It is very interesting. I really liked Disturbed and listened to them quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we've seen that music video before, but it's been a while since we've watched it. And the timing is just interesting with everything going on in the world.
Yeah. True. It is interesting. I mean, in a sense, that is what we see a lot, or feel like you need, because whoever comes to, or whoever steps up, if you will, to try and take down the media or the mainstream media, whatever country you're talking about, specifically in the US, but around the world, whoever tries to take them down would be labeled as a bad person, or if you will, a dark messiah type, which the people would latch onto, but the media would absolutely try to crucify.
And it is interesting just how they portray. I mean, would be interested personally to talk to
David?
Yeah, to hear more what inspired that, and then who is the dark messiah in his mind.
Well, it's interesting because he was raised Jewish.
That is
If
interesting.
if I remember right, he was raised as a Jew, which would give you a different look at what the Messiah is.
Yeah.
Even if you don't claim that faith still, it would give you some background as to why you would use that
terminology.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm just, like, what, in his opinion, is that? But it is interesting, and I think it's just really eye-opening, I think, when we first watched it, because no matter, like, whatever you believe about the media right now and all of that, it's true that the media and whoever controls our knowledge, like, where we get our information, they kind of have control over us, which is just really interesting, because I mean, you look at, like, the censorship, like, even on Google or, like, things like that, like, I think we've become so accustomed to just being able to rely on other people for our information that if they
if they did a switch up.
If they switch it up or change something, and that's something that's always frustrated me about the news or anything, because it's like you never really know everything that's going on, only what they report on. And it's impossible for us to know everything going on in the world. But
well, I think most people, I don't know most, but I know you and I agree that social media doesn't help anything.
True.
It makes things worse.
Yeah.
Because then everybody knows the same things that don't really pertain to them. Like, if everybody lived their lives by their lives, there would be a lot less drama in everyone's life, because they would be more connected to the people in their geographical circle rather than their online circle across the globe.
Yeah, that's true. But it is true that, I mean, people want to know what's going on around them. They want to know.
That's true.
And if you...
And I mean, right now, everybody wants to know what's going on in the U.S.
True, yeah.
Everyone's not really concerned about their own country or other countries as much as who won the election, who will win it, what's going on. Is the world going to fall apart because the superpower's falling apart?
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be war or whatever?
Yeah. But it is just like our conditioning, like where it showed like the obeyed, like subliminal messaging, which isn't necessarily proved that
Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah. Right.
Was never ended.
But we are conditioned, and I think it's like we want to trust something, and like, especially if someone poses themselves as an authority, if they're a reliable source, then that's where we go. But then also you see the family, they're just sitting on their couch watching, and they're like rotting away basically.
And as they're watching, they're also not paying attention to their daughter. They're pushing her back and forth.
Yeah.
Because they'd rather pay attention to the information that's if you watch the video, the information that is basically destroying their actual humanity and taking away who they are as people. Because, and you have to admit it, that whenever you spend your days on your phone, on social media, on YouTube even, like when you spend too much time there, the person you are slowly changes into just what you've seen, and you become a fairly boring person because now all you are is the videos that you've seen, or the memes you look at, all that stuff. Like, you're not really who you were because your personality has been dumbed down so much by just what you've seen and what you're conditioned to think is the ideal person of your sex, whether you're male, female, or a helicopter.
Yeah. When was this song made? A helicopter.
It was made in, when it loads, June.
2015.
Yeah,
Okay.
a year before the last election.
It is just interesting.
But it's been that way for a while.
Well,
though.
yeah. But even, like, you talked about, like, how you should be according to, like, your gender and all that jazz. Like, the whole social media thing, it's just, I think it's something we don't think a lot about, is what we're putting into our minds and how it impacts everything.
Oh,
and
yeah,
especially
definitely.
kids. And we just hand them, like, iPhones or, you know, an iPad or something now. But, I mean, we look at how much, and I've been doing the thing where it tracks, like, how much time I spend on my phone, and I have, like, a limit. Like, Instagram, like, that's usually where my preferred social media, I guess. So it's, like, capped at an hour, which I've been doing better. I don't even use it that much anymore. But I know, like, if I'm on there, I like, especially over the weekends, like, if I'm not working, I might be on there more, and I can tell when I'm like, okay, I need to get off of here, because I'm, like, criticizing myself and comparing myself to,
Yeah.
like, all these other people on here.
You're drifting away
Yeah.
from where you should be.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not helping anything.
True.
It's not
I can
helping
attest to that.
us. You know what I mean? So
It's
strange.
interesting because growing up, I grew up in the country, and we barely had cell service at our house. So I didn't get my first cell phone I didn't get to use my first cell phone until I was like in 8th grade. And then I could use it when I was not at home. But when I was home, I had to give it back to my parents. But now that I look back on it, that wasn't really a bad thing, because that forced me to do stuff. Like, because we lived in the country, we would go outside. We had a backyard that was decently sized, so my brother and I, we would play soccer in the backyard. We would go in the woods, and yeah, we would climb trees. We would just chill in the woods sometimes. Like, at night, we would just look at the stars and stuff. And when you are in your actual environment and you spend the time to really center yourself, if you will, outside of other people and outside of the bounds of what society tells you have to be, you gain more of an individual personality, because you're pulling from nature as well as what you see and what you're taught, as far as how you're supposed to conduct yourself. And yeah,
you're like your family. If you're more involved with your family, your parents are more involved with you, and you're actually interacting with other people your age, that's gonna be huge. I was just thinking, I'm like, what kind of phone did I have in college, like when we first started talking? I'm trying to remember if I had a flip phone, because I had a phone when I was like in 3rd grade, but it was only for emergencies.
A slide phone.
Because I like had swim
Yeah.
practice, so it was like, if something happened, that way I could call my parents.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until college that
I'm pretty sure I
Instagram started.
had a slide phone.
Yeah, I think I might have had a flip phone. Like, I remember texting you when that summer, and I'm trying to remember if it was just like
Well, yeah, it was still like this, because I would text behind my back by number. Like, if we were in class, or
Oh my
if we were
gosh.
somewhere that we weren't supposed to be on our phone, I knew I could memorize the keyboard, so I could text behind my back
Nice.
just by using the numbers, because otherwise I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so crazy. And just to think there's kids now, like,
That are like, what's a
I'm
flip phone?
so glad. I don't know. I feel sorry for kids.
It was also weird, while I was in the army, having privates come in that hadn't been around for 9/11,
Yeah.
that were born in 2001
We're
or 2002.
We're
I'm like,
old.
I have 10 years on you people. That is
Yeah.
crazy. Of course, people that are born in the 80s are like, I have 10 years on you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's crazy to think, just see how quickly everything has changed, and it'll be. I mean, I think we've seen a huge impact on the development. Like, I have friends who are teachers, and just them saying, like, this is, how things are now and stuff like that. It's,
Very different
yeah, I can't imagine having social media
as a kid.
as a kid.
And trying to navigate stuff without this bombardment of
Yeah,
influencers.
yeah, crazy.
Whack.
But, yeah, I would love to know
The thinking
who's
behind it.
thinking and everything. I appreciate it. It's a very thought-provoking song and video.
Well, this
But you wouldn't get it. The song doesn't really. The music video is really what.
True. Well, this song comes off the same album that Legend is on, which talks about glorifying homicide and mass murderers.
Yeah.
That they get their headlines in the news and the people that died don't. And talking about how idolizing killers will breed more killers in the future and how it's the media's fault. So it comes from an album that's centered on
What's wrong with our world?
with what's wrong with society and
Yeah.
how the media is driving those issues.
Yeah, it's very.
But
yeah, very
anyway,
interesting.
with that being said, thank you for listening to us talk for a very long time. We did get a bit into it there at the end, which is fine. We tend to like having more in-depth discussions, and we wouldn't mind if you join the discussion in the comments below. We appreciate them, and as also if you have suggestions of other videos you would like us to watch that are thought-provoking or just something you like and you want us to look into, let us know in the comments, and we will try to get to them when we have gotten to everything else that we have not yet gotten to. So that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are safe and doing well, and that your countries, wherever you are beginning to recover from all this craziness in 2020. So I hope you guys are good, and I hope you guys are safe. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay motivated.
Bye.
Peace.